3 claps, we're ready tonight. 3 claps. 3 claps. 3 claps. 27 years ago, I sat in this locker room just like you guys, on a knee, getting ready to play a game. I walked down the locker room, it still smells the same. It takes you back real quick. One of the things that caught me was how fast 27 years goes by. There's so many people that live vicariously through you. I would give anything tonight to jump in one of these uniforms with you guys.
To do something I never had an opportunity to do. My father never saw me play. You play for your fathers tonight.
That feeling goes away. It goes away, and it doesn't come every Friday night. It comes when you get married. It comes when your child's born. So you get it, but you just don't get it every Friday night. You're gonna miss that more than anything in the world. That's what I miss. And so you seniors that are focused on college, you're focused on your work after high school, what you're gonna do next, you're focused on tomorrow, aren't you? You got plenty of time for tomorrow. But these tonights, they're going by fast. You focus on tonight. This is about you guys. This is about the guys in this room that care about each other, that know there's only so many more of these nights left. It's about you. They're a faceless opponent. They just happen to draw the short straw tonight. Now get your asses ready to play. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win!
In 2010, Kenny Chesney, country music artist, had a #1 song about football. It was called The Boys of Fall. The music video for the song debuted on ESPN SportsCenter on August 2nd, 2010. My, how times have changed. I doubt that the wokesters working at ESPN would even let such a video air these days. Imagine that, a video about young boys turning into men. Proud American men, men unashamed at being strong men. There's a few lines in that song that would rattle the weak men in our society today. It talks about what would happen if you started some shit with a teammate. Here's what it says. It's knocking heads and talking trash. It's slinging mud and dirt and grass. It's I got your number, I got your back. When your back's against the wall, you mess with one man, you got us all.
All lessons we learn as kids and all continue to apply through the rest of your life. Life is a team game. It's the big game.
Anybody can be a leader, can be excited, can be first in line when things are going great. The test is when you battle through tough times, when things aren't perfect. Where do you stand?
This is your night. Make it happen!
That's a statement on being a team. That's a statement on being a man. At least that's what it used to be. I want those days back again. I watched my grandson play his first high school game recently. I watched him score his first touchdown in his first game. And I can only hope he can be the man he wants to be. A strong, proud American man. And I also want him to learn about what it means to be a part of a team, about being exclusive, a part of a very special club.
You can't be quiet. You can't be unemotional. This is an emotional game.
On that day and at the end of your life, you look in the mirror and you know, I gave it all I had and I gave it for a worthy cause.
You think about what that means. You think about what it means to be on your last play. This is my last play of football ever. My last play, how do I want it to be? How do I want to be remembered?
And I want him to know that being a part of a very special, exclusive club means you need to guard and protect all of those in that club. And I want him to know that with every fiber of his being. You may be asking yourself right now, so Barry, what does Deion Sanders and Pat McAfee have to do with the insanity of toxic masculinity? Well, I'm about to tell you. We see a fight broke out at the University of Colorado's football practice a couple days ago. and Deion Sanders had some very choice words for his team. And what he said basically underscored and echoed the lyrics to Kenny Chesney's song. Let's watch this.
This clip that just was released on
It was Colorado's?
This morning on Twitter, I think.
on Colorado's Twitter about Coach Prime, who obviously NFL Hall of Famer, so good at football in the NFL, is actually saying we need a different wing for to play like me in the NFL. That's how good of a football player he is. He has given back to the football culture his entire adulthood, whether it's through players, individual players, or coaching. Loves football. Listen.
And there's so many people that seem to want to attack Deion Sanders, and it's because of what he's done, in my opinion, to change his life.
Listen to what he says, following up with what Robert Saleh just said to his team about a fight that happened in a squad here at training camp.
By the way, number 69 there is 6'10", 330 pounds.
We good. I seen two of y'all walking off over there, and you got a key teammate fighting. What they do that at?
Nowhere.
What they do that at?
Not here.
In one fight, we all fight. You understand that?
No, sir.
I don't want to see y'all walking off when somebody's fighting.
Yes, sir.
Never again.
It's in there, man.
So I appreciate the fact that old Cuz was like, I don't know who he was talking to in here. Was not me. But you hear Saleh talk about it. You hear Coach Prime talk about it, obviously. I've heard every human that's ever played in competitive football talk about it. I appreciate the fact that it feels like, AJ, that football is like recognizing that, yeah, it's a hard sport that involves some combat, and you got to be tough. And
You got to be tough. They tried to take the toughness out of football. They tried to take the toughness out of being a man. And I'm so happy to see football leading us back to where men are supposed to be men. Not pansies, actual men.
Can't be soft, and you can't be the guy who runs away from a fight that's happening. You have to be the guy that runs into a fight, even though seemingly a lot of members of society out there are like, we should never do that type of things, and this type of stuff is a waste of energy. It's like, that is a team builder, and I appreciate the fact that we're back at the point of recognizing that.
Exactly. So many people have been trying to take the masculinity, not just out of society, but out of football as well. It's almost like they all want us playing, flag football. This is a man's game. There's no other way to talk about it. This is not going to be one of those things where people cross over and play here. This is a man's game. Yeah, there may be a female kicker here or there. That's a little bit different. Kickers aren't really football players. However, I digress. The fact of the matter is, this is a man's game, and the men are stepping up again.
That makes sense, AJ.
I mean, it makes complete sense. I mean, you don't have to be that guy. You don't have to be the guy that goes in there and helps out your teammates and helps people out and gets into fights. But you also can't really play football then on a team. They're not going to be accepted.
Bingo. You don't have to be that guy. You don't have to be the type of person that jumps into a fight. You don't have to be the kind of person that runs towards danger. You're just not going to play on my team. You're just not going to play football. Sorry, if that sounds tough, too bad. So be it. Get out. Go play something else. You're not going to be a part of my special club.
If you don't support your teammates. I'm not saying you got to cheap shot people or fight people. You don't have to do any of that. But you do have to be there if one of your guys, someone on your team, is in a melee or anything's happening. Like, you don't have to go cheap shot and jack people and do stupid stuff, but you got to go make sure your teammate is okay and get them out of there.
It's a real thing. Even like Justin Tucker.
It's not even football. That's life. It's almost like, hey, this is like your family. This is my family. We protect our family.
Yeah.
You don't understand. A lot of people don't understand. When you're on a football team, you spend more time with your team than you do your family. You have morning practice, you have film, you have dinner together, you have lunch together, then you have practice, then you travel. You have so much time invested in each other. You're part of the special club. And a lot of people don't understand that, including some of the people at ESPN, which you're gonna see. But let's let AJ continue here.
Yeah, but there's some people that don't believe that anymore, like should never do anything physical. And it's like football is finally, it feels like, getting to a point again where it's like, no, we're fighting. Yeah, we got to fight. That's how it goes. You watch that Ravens fight yesterday, the first one with wide receivers. Justin Tucker, greatest kicker of all time, going to go down, putting his helmet on from the side. Well, fuck. Here we go. Like, have to do it. It's like, you're looking for that stuff.
Absolutely. You got to do it. There is no other choice. You got to be a part of the fight. You got to be in the fight. Does that offend you? Go ahead and turn off the video. Does that make you feel kind of icky because men are talking about being men? Go ahead and turn off the video. This isn't for you. This is for kids. This is for men. This is for players. This is for grown men that understand that a man looks to protect his own. You don't like it? Sorry, there's some soy for you. Now listen to what happened on ESPN.
Talk to me.
One fight, we all fight. One fail, we all fail. I agree with Coach Prime. And I'll give you an example. I was in a football game against a defense, right? And I got in an altercation with somebody. And one of their defenders came and cleaned me up. Roddy White came and cleaned them up. Somebody came and cleaned Roddy up. Devin Hester came and cleaned them up. We all got $10,000 fines, and I understand you don't want to lose your money.
Well spent.
But knowing...
Did you hear what Dad said? Money well spent. Got to do it. Not even a choice. Got to do it.
That my teammates had my back 1,000% meant the world to me. And these are guys that are my brothers for life. And when you're deep in the roots and everything, and your families hang with one another, and y'all go on vacations together, and you work out every day together, and you eat amongst each other, it's a different mindset. And you got to have the mindset that I got to protect my guy no matter what. Now, I'm not saying you got to go in there and throw a punch and pull somebody, but you can yank somebody up off your guy too, right? You got to make sure you have your guys back, because when they're down, are you going to be there to pick them up? And
now, there used to be a huge advertising campaign for Under Armour. Do you remember what that campaign was? It seems like they had to take it off the air because it was too offensive to the pansies. And that marketing campaign was a bunch of guys on a football field yelling, chanting, and they were chanting, "We got to protect this house. We're going to protect this house." Do you guys remember that? You remember that marketing campaign? It was amazing. It showed these guys hooting and hollering, banging helmets. "We're going to protect this house." And for some reason, that's gone away. We don't do that anymore. We're not allowed to even talk like that anymore, except football is bringing it back.
That's the support I had with my guys, even offensive line wise, because I was a goddamn, you probably know I've heard that I talked a lot of smack on the football field. And my teammates always had my back no matter what.
I totally agree with her. I think number one, college is different than pros. You know, in college, it's a little bit more like it's you together for a couple years that you know. You know, in the NFL, it's such a transaction league. I think number two, he's resetting the culture there. And then this is what makes football.
Resetting the culture. Understand what that actually means. Resetting the culture. Number one, the culture at the University of Colorado, they were a losing team. They were a losing culture. Part of resetting that culture is, hey, listen, you got to do what winners do. This is what winners do. You may not like it, but this is what winners do. You build a unit. You build a familial unit. You build a unit of men. And you let them understand all these guys out here are depending upon you to do your job. You got to be a man to stand up and do it with them.
Football different than every other sport, respectfully. There are the cliches of it takes all of us, teammates, brotherhood. It's not cliches. It's a way of life for us in many football players' eyes. So I love this from Deion. I absolutely love it. I tell my sons are starting to play football, and one of the things I tell them all the time, if your teammates do it, you do it. Never allow your teammates to do something that you don't. And they're 11.
They're in a physical battle week in and week out with each other. And this is just that camaraderie that I think Deion's trying to build, right? Between the...
Now Amber's going to be talking here, and you can tell the disconnect because I don't think this was staged. I watched as Dan Orlovsky calmly said, yeah, this is the way. And now you're going to let this woman come in who has no idea no idea what Harry or Orlovsky were saying, who has never pulled the helmet down, who has never sweated with 100 other guys for hours at a time. And she's going to say, well, I'll let you hear what she has to say.
This team. The only thing is, and it's such a foreign concept for the rest of us, right, who aren't football players, like.
She could have stopped right there. There should have been nothing else. I don't understand this. Okay, let's move on to the next story. I don't need to explain it to you. This is about men talking. This is men stuff. In fact, there didn't used to be women sportscasters. There didn't used to be women even on these panels, but that's okay. But don't step into something you don't know. At this point, this is a conversation that should have been just guys at the table. I don't need to explain to you that you don't know what you don't know.
From y'all's perspective, of course, this is a no-brainer. This is great. Like the rest of us, it's like, I don't, like if somebody walked in this room and starts fighting Dan right now, Molly, are you and I in? Or are we, other word, you're in, got his back. Okay.
I don't expect you to be in. That's not your position in life. I don't want you to throw hands on somebody if a fight broke out there. That's my job as a man. That's what I need to do for my wife and my kids. I need to be the protector. If you want to grab the gun or grab a stick or something and join in to help, that's fine. I don't expect you to do that. And see, I think that's where some of the disconnect in society has come, is that, hey, well, what am I supposed to do? Nothing. Get out the way. Really, seriously. Go. Might sound bad, but go hide in a cave. This is man, the essence of man. I don't need you. I don't want you to be involved in this fight. This is what we do. Is that knuckle dragging? Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not even going to be ashamed of it. But that's who we are. We're men.
For other environments, it's hard to relate to if you're not on the football field. I get it here. Aren't we worried about injuries though here at all?
No, because that is so whack when I think about it. Like if you're in there.
Why did they even put her on the panel? Are we worried about injuries here? Let me ask you a question. If somebody broke into your house and they were, walking down the hall and heading to your daughter's bedroom, would you care if your husband got injured while he was beating the crap out the guy that was trying to do something bad to your child? Of course not. You don't understand the psychology. You're not here for the psychology. It's completely foreign to you, as well it should be.
Those guys, more than you are your own family. You're with those guys from morning to nighttime. And if I feel like there's somebody I'm playing beside and I feel like he don't have my back, I'm going to feel some type of way.
No doubt.
And it's not going to feel genuine. I can't, hang and kiki ha-ha with this person if I feel like he doesn't have my back.
Yeah. No, it's fair. Because initially when I saw it, I was kind of like, oh, I'm surprised. Usually it'd be the other way. The coaches want to break it up. But when you guys do it from your...
No, it's not the other way. It's what society has said it should be. And you as a woman, Molly, you're seeing this from the outside. This is something you don't normally see. I played decades ago, and this is how it was. They've tried to extract this from society. Ask any player. These guys know. I know. I'm a couple decades older than these guys, and I know for a fact this is how we were brought up.
Perspective, and it's like, hey, you're out there by yourself. If your guys just sit there and watch.
Walking away
but
like
Deion's encouraging. The only weird component of this is so Deion's encouraging his team to do this. And what if one of them gets hurt?
No, that's not what he's doing.
Deion's encouraging the fighting. Deion's encouraging the principle or the thought process of if one of us does it, we all do it.
Yeah.
She completely missed it. That's exactly it. She thinks it's about encouraging fighting. That's not it at all. It's all for one, one for all. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. That's what it's all about. And she doesn't understand the concept, and she shouldn't be part of the conversation because it's not what you have to worry about. Make me knuckle dragger? Absolutely. I'll wear it with pride.
You don't ever turn your back on your
But doesn't that mean that more players are exposed to the risk of injury and you need those guys in order to win games? That's the only component of it from the coaching perspective.
But the culture is the most important thing. And if you got to...
I love how you told her. Doesn't that put you at risk? Absolutely. And she asked him again, but isn't it? Absolutely. Most important thing, the most important part of building a team is to understand that these men, these boys that are becoming men, have to understand they are an exclusive special club that needs to be protected. One for all for one. That's it. That's your explanation.
Culture of me's,
Yeah.
you'll never win.
Well, and I think that it's so key here that this is coming from Deion Sanders, right? This is coming from a dude
And you
who played
heard and
the
felt this
game.
emotion.
I think it's a different perspective.
It's not a different perspective. It's a different perspective for you, Amber. This is something you're getting to look at. You're getting to look and see the film because of social media. This has been going on since the time your dad and mom first got together. For some reason in our society, it has been looked at as bad. It didn't used to be a different perspective. Back in the day, we all knew what our roles were. Something changed when people asked that question. So when was America great? Well, I can give you one example when men knew they were supposed to be men. This would never have been a news item. It's happened forever, for decades. Ask anybody who's played football. Ask any man who's been in the Marines. It's one for all. The concept of this has been taken away from us. This was never anything that you had to coach up. It was expected. It was what men do. It's what men have always done until recently. Say what you want about Deion Sanders, but he's a God-fearing man and he's building souls in addition to men. He let his players know right away, right then and there, you're in this fight together. You don't run from a fight. You don't run from the flag. You protect this house. You better be there for your teammates. You mess with one, you mess with all. And I know Deion isn't an exception. There are coaches all across America who, despite society's problems, are working to build men. There are coaches across the country who are working diligently to build souls. It gives me hope for America that there are people like Deion Sanders, that there are people like Justin Tucker, that there are people like Pat McAfee, that there are people like Dan Orlovsky. Everybody that plays the game understands this is it. This is the culture. Protect that culture. Be a man. Be a strong man. Be a strong American man. Be unashamed. It really gives me hope for America. It lets me know, and I saw it with my grandson, that there are coaches out there that are really interested in building men. Just maybe, the boys of fall are going to help bring America back to where it used to be. Back to a time when America was indeed great. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you guys think. I'd love to see the comments on this. Talk to you soon.
All we need is just somebody that wants to do some leadership out there. Now we go. Come on, Ed. Everybody's a leader.